Well, is this the fastest selling item we could think of?
No, actually, I thought about that too. Like, why do we say that?
DA got that dope.
Yo, what's cracking? What's cracking this show? Boom! Billy, you so crazy, back in this thing, man, and you already know what time it is, man. Look, we are back with another reaction video, and today, what I'm reacting to is George Carlin Everyday Expressions. I have never seen this. This is the first live reaction, so if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right tizow. I'm gonna give you a second to do that. You do it. Alright, cool. Welcome to the family. Like I said, if there's any video you want to see me react to, anyone, put it in the comment section or follow me on my social media links. They are right here. Give those a follow one time. Let me know what video you want to see me react to, and I got you. But enough talking. Let's see what my man George is talking about in this song one time. Let's see what my man George is talking about in this video.
Hello, everybody. How are you? How's it going? Thank you. You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language that we use all the time. Most all of us use them every day, and we never seem to examine them very closely. You know, we just say them as if they really made sense. Like, legally drunk. Well, if it's legal, what's the problem?
That's actually factual.
Leave the guy alone. He's legally drunk. You know where you can stick it. You hear that, don't you guys? You know where you can stick that. Well, why do we always assume everyone knows where they can stick it? Suppose you don't know. Suppose you're a new guy. You have absolutely no idea where to stick it. I think there ought to be a government booklet entitled Where to Stick It. Now that I think of it, I believe there is a booklet like that. They send it to you when you complain about your income tax. Selling like hotcakes. Well, is this the fastest selling item we could think of?
No, actually, I thought about that too. Like, why do we say that? Like, what is the point of selling like hotcakes? I ain't never even seen a hotcake, to be honest with you. And it could be because I'm young. I don't know.
For this figure of speech, hotcakes? Beer, cigarettes, coffee, even eggs. You go to the average place where people are ordering breakfast, you'll find a lot more people ordering eggs than are ordering hotcakes. Well, it doesn't sound right, does it? Michael Jackson's new album is selling like eggs. People won't say that. It doesn't have the right ring to it. Undisputed heavyweight champion. Well, if it's undisputed, what's all the fighting about?
George says stuff that you do not think about. Like, he says stuff you don't think about.
To me,
Genius.
that's the last straw. That one doesn't seem fair to me, you know? I think you ought to warn a guy first. That's the next to the last straw. Let him know he's running out of straws. Down the pike. Boy, he was the meanest guy ever to come down the pike. Fine. What about guys who come up the pike? Not everybody lives.
You know what? And I'm sorry, I know that y'all mad because I paused it in the middle of the... I'm going to rewind it, all right? But I've never actually heard anyone say that phrase before.
Ever to come down the pike. Fine. What about guys who come up the pike? Not everybody lives north of the pike. Some guys come up the pike and they're really mean because nobody mentions them at all. What about a guy who don't even use the pike? Comes on Amtrak. He was the meanest guy ever to arrive on Amtrak. Doesn't have that ring. It's like eggs. Down the tubes. You hear that a lot, especially the last couple of years. People say, boy, the country is really going down the tubes. What tubes? Have you seen any tubes? Where are these tubes? And where do they go? And how come there's more than one tube? It would seem to me, one country, one tube. What, does every state all of a sudden have to have its own tube now? One tube is all you need. But a tube that big, somebody would have seen it by now. Somebody would have said, hey, Joey, Look at the tube. You never hear that. You know why? No tubes. No tubes. Takes the cake. Boy, he really takes the cake. Where?
I've used that sometimes, but that's like, it's rare when I use it.
Where do you take a cake? To the movies? You know where I would take a cake? Down to the bakery to see the other cakes. And how come he takes the cake? How come you don't take the pie? Pie is easier to carry than a cake. Easy as pie. Cake is not too hard to carry either. Piece of cake. Out walking the streets. You hear this when a murderer gets paroled from prison. Guy will say, now, instead of being in prison, this guy is out walking the streets. How do we know? So I'm watching TV. Not every guy gets a parole, right? Is out walking the streets.
George is saying a lot of, like, it's common things that you hear every day, but you don't even think twice. You just be like, it's normal.
Sometimes they take a bus. Occasionally they steal a car. We ought to be glad. Thank God he stole a car. At least he's not out walking the streets. Fine and dandy. That's an old-fashioned one, you know. Say to a guy, how are you? He says, fine and dandy. Not me. I never say that. You know why? I'm never both of those things at the same time. Sometimes I'm fine, not dandy. Close to dandy, approaching dandy. In the vicinity of dandyhood. Not quite dandy. Other times, I am indeed dandy. Not fine. One time, 1965, August, for about an hour, I was both fine and dandy at the same time. Nobody asked me how I was. The riot act, you know? You hear that? They tell you keep telling you they're gonna read you the riot act. Especially when you're a kid. You wait till your father comes home, he's gonna read you the riot act.
Alright, now I could be too young for that one. Never in my life have I heard that before, ever. Let me know in the comment section if you heard that before. That gives me a gauge on, you know, the ages of where you at. Like I said, I'm young. I'm not that young, but I'm young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I look like I graduated from high school, but that was over like 10 years ago, so food for thought.
Tell him I read it myself. And I didn't like it either. I consider it wordy and poorly thought out. He wants to read me something. How about the big picture book of 250 sexual intercourse positions? More than happy. I'll bet you say that one. You say to somebody, oh, I'd be more than happy to do that. How can you be more than happy? To me, that sounds like a dangerous mental condition. We had to put Dave in the mental home. He was more than happy. Last one. In your own words.
Ooh.
People say that to you all the time. And say, well, tell us in your own words. Do you have your own words? I'm using the ones everybody else is using. Next time they tell you to say something in your own words, say, Nick Flat Blarney Quando Fleur.
Yeah, I like George, man. Rest in peace to this legend, man. Rest in peace to this legend. Because, like I said, George is always saying things that nobody thinks of. And I like the way that he tells his jokes, his delivery, the facial expressions, all that stuff. But anyways, man, if y'all enjoyed this reaction, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Join the family. We are on the road to 30K. I love all of my subscribers, man. Like I said, if there's any video you want to see me react to, put it in the comment section down below. Or send me a message on my social media links. They are right here. Give those a follow one time, and I will make sure I get it up on the page for you, man. I love all my subscribers. I see y'all in the next video. It's your boy, BillyYouSoCrazy. I'm out this thing.